Are you looking for a faster video? Well, today it's a live stream and I know you're probably looking for a really nice and tidy edited down video, but I have ways for you to make it faster. You can click that little gear on the YouTube settings right there on the video and adjust the playback speed, make me sound like a chipmunk, and it'll go a lot faster. You can also look and see if there's timestamps for this project in the description, and if you're on a desktop, you can hover over the time bar at the bottom of the screen and see if it's chunked up into chapters, and then that way you can go directly to the step you're looking for. And lastly, you can also tap on the screen on the right hand side of the video picture or on the left hand side to make the video jump ahead, forward or backward if you're on a mobile device. And you can adjust that amount in your settings so you can have complete control over how much it jumps. So if you are on a desktop, you can use the fast forward or the rewind, and that will make it go faster as well. You can also enable subtitles, and the little CC on the screen will enable closed captioning. That way, if I am a little bit harder to understand with that double playback speed, the subtitles might help you out. All right, well, I know that it's not a nice little edited video, but if you sew with me, we'll get there together and it'll be lots of fun. And now for the live stream. Happy sewing! Hello. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Sydney. Happy Wednesday to you too. All right, tell me if everything sounds and looks okay. How was your weekend? It cooled off here. It's been really nice. It's been so great. Still warm, but like a lot cooler. Hi, Dar. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Let's see. It says it's 62 outside. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Sue. Oh, that sounds lovely, Sue. All right, so I know I was supposed to be painting the non-slip paint on my rugs that I made last week, and it didn't arrive yesterday. So it's taking this really interesting route. It's in California, which is where I am at. So at the last second, like at 4:30 yesterday, I was like, all right, I really got to put together a whole stream for tomorrow, and I did it. So I need these. So I recently, and I mentioned this before, I got the free pattern by Do It Better Yourself patterns, and a lot of people refer to them as D.I.B.Y, D-I.B.Y. So, oh my gosh, Sydney. It would be your worst influence on that because I'm like all the colors. So, hi, Terry. Oh, thank you for saying so. Hi, Hannah. Thank you, Terry, for telling me that. I swear, I do one little thing and then it changes like the microphone, and I was like, why isn't it coming up? Anyway, all right, so I got this legging pattern and it comes in different lengths, so you can pick a mini short, knee length, capri, full length. And I'm doing something between the mini and the knee length. I've measured a couple of pairs of shorts that I wear. Oh, and by the way, I'm making these as shorts to wear under my dresses for the summer because I really like, I don't like my thighs rubbing or my legs rubbing. Even when I'm super fit, my legs will touch, and I hate it because it's just really uncomfortable. And it's because it gets really hot here. And when it's hotter, sometimes clothing helps because of sweat and stuff. Even if you can't tell you're sweating, So, oh, that would be nice. Oh, did you see, Carrie, that Helen's Closet is having a sew along with the Winslows? I just saw it today, or I saw it maybe in an email, but you might check it out. I think there's going to be like a whole walkthrough on it. Hi, Ursula. How's it going? Yeah, exactly. Culottes would be so perfect. Me and Sydney know from making the Tanya culottes, which, you know what? I haven't seen those in a bit. They must be like tucked between hangers. I need to get those out. I love wearing those things. Absolutely. Hi, Tracy. Welcome. Thanks for subscribing. Yeah, and I also I've thought about reaching out for like a sponsorship from Megababe because I use theirs. Oh no, I untied my shoe. I gotta tie my shoe. I don't know why they put these really long laces in these shoes, and so I untie them, even if I bow knot them. So, yeah. Oh, there you go, Sydney. Yeah, that's excellent idea. That kind of helps, huh? It's good to see you too, Ursula. Oh, I thought it was a sew along. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, and I know it's like photographed steps and things. I don't know, it might be helpful. I don't have that pattern. So, all right, so I did a little bit of prep for this because I'm cutting and sewing today. The sewing's going to be pretty quickly. The interesting thing about these leggings or shorts or capris, however you're going to do it, is that there's not an elasticized waist. Like, I sat there going, what kind of elastic do we have? Well, wide elastic. I kept looking, and I even thought it would be inside the waistband. But the waistband you fold over. Now, all the pictures of these look so good on everybody. It's a very inclusive sizing. And I'm doubting that the fact that it's just folded over at the top, it's going to work, but it looks so good on everybody, so I'm hopeful as well. So, yeah. Let me tell you about the sizing. I don't have the full instruction packet printed out. Oh, and I have a package to open here. All right, so the waist goes from 24 inches to 59 3/4. The high hip goes from 29.5 to 66.5. The full hip goes from 34 to 67. And like I said, there's different lengths. Let's see if do I have a line drawing in here? Yeah, here we go. 4 lengths: ankle, capri, knee length, and mini. So here you go. This is a free pattern on the Do It Better Yourself website. Yeah, the yoga waistband. Yeah, but you know, I feel like some of those can, yeah, I feel like it would be better if it was stabilized even with like a narrow piece of elastic, if you put the waistband on a seam or something. So, hi Malin. Hi Lynn. Hi Catherine. How's it going? Yeah, it does make for a super comfy fit. And the ones I'm wearing right now are like that, but they're a fabric waistband and it's wide, but there's like a little piece of elastic inside. So, but like I said, these look really good on everybody, unless they're styling them so that you're not seeing the waistband fold over and kind of, you know, be too weak. All right, so the only thing, I printed the knee length, knowing that the mini looked probably a little shorter than what I wanted. And the one thing I noticed is, oh, they tell you, which is really helpful, they tell you what pages to print out for each length. Okay, there's a nice little chart here, which is great because then you don't have to print out everything. So you look at your size and you look at the length. Don't forget the waistband down here. It's not included in this thing here. So you do everything right here in this row. So this is for A4 pages and this is for US letter. So you're going to do everything in this box depending on what size you are, Mrs. or plus. And then you pick the length, you do those as well. So I picked the knee length, so I added pages 6 and 7 to this box. You also need to add the waistband. And it's interesting because the sizes, yeah, it's from 0 to 4. Oh, and 6 to 12. Oh, okay, okay. I saw that 16. I thought that was the one. Okay, so anyway, so don't forget the waistband because I did, and I was like, oh, maybe this is a schematic. So don't forget to print those. And let's get started. If you have any questions, let me know too. All right. Oh, and then you guys have all known this. I was the one that didn't, but it stands for anything but basic. The ABB leggings. So that's so great to hear, Malin. Okay, cool. Is there a seam? Is that waistband? Does it have a seam at the top, and is it curved or is it straight? I'm kind of curious. All right, so let me stop for a second. I got my I got my package from Cashmerette that I ordered months ago when they launched the Auburn blazer. And I didn't get the fabric, but I did get the Notions bundle and the printed pattern. So I got the PDF pattern already. You get that right away. Hi, Elizabeth. Lurk away. All right, so we have a card, our invoice. That is a thick envelope. Woo! And then here is my Notions. I know someone like Terry or Adina might be interested to see what I got in here. So they don't have pockets. Oh my goodness, thanks Shannon. Welcome to the Tier 3 Patreon. And I also noticed that Zuzi did as well. Thanks you guys, welcome to the Tier 3 Patreon. I will let you know what Zoom sessions are available. We have 2 right now, and I'm gonna add 2 more. But I gotta find out the sizes, and there's times and people aren't all responding. If you guys don't wanna do it, totally fine. Just let me know. Hi Eliza, how's it going? Okay, it's curved and shaped to seam at the top. Okay, Valencia, I think that's great. Hi Tammy, welcome for a minute. Sometimes it's like that, right? Sometimes I do that too, like right before bed, I'll look and see if anyone I know is streaming and I'll say hi and then I want to like stay and they're like, oh my God, hi, you're here, you're never here at this time. You just gotta find your fabric. Cool, all right, so for those of you who don't know, at the end of summer, like late August, early September, we can all firm up a date or weeks that we want to do this. We're going to do a blazer sew along. You can do whatever blazer you want. I chose the Auburn because it has a lot of sizes. And I bought my fabric in Oregon. I might change my fabric because I love the fabric I got, but it's very springy and I feel like I'll never wear it during the winter months. But I love my fabric choices too. And it just really gets too warm here. Hi Libby, how's it going? So they have fabric. You can get the whole kit from Cashmerette. Fabric, pattern, and the Notions. I opted for just the pattern and the Notions. Lurk away, Karen. Welcome, thanks for coming. All right, so we got some shoulder pads here. I thought this was twill tape. It is fusible, like a really narrow strip of fusible woven interfacing. Waving it around helps identify it. Some buttons in different sizes. And then some more fusible interfacing in black. See, this makes me also think maybe I should do a different one because my colors are so pale. And here's also another stabilizer here. It's also fusible. It's very soft. And then this is like the fake horsehair. They don't make horsehair out of horsehair anymore. So it has a smell. So I'm ready to go. Maybe I just need to pick out a darker fabric. Good morning, Debbie. We're gonna tape that. Just, you know, making sure I don't lose anything. Okay. I have no empty bins right now. My bins are what my works in progress, but 3 of these bins are devoted to what we're doing tomorrow through next week for the 100 Acts of Sewing. One of them is my March top. 2 of them are, one of them is my shams I never made for my bed, and one of them is a quilt I just need to finish, which I don't know why I haven't finished that. It would be really easy to do. Yeah, anyway. All right, so I printed out my patterns. And like I said, I'm doing a length between the knee and the mini. Here's the mini, here's the knee. And what I did was I just measured a pair of leggings that I like. I'm wearing them right now, and they're actually leggings I cut the legs off of, and they're not even hemmed. Because sometimes not hemming things they function a little better because they are softer and they don't ride up because maybe the stitching isn't very good and it's like tight, and then it rides up on you, trying to find the smallest spot on you, you know? So, a spoiler of the March top. Oh, do you mean the stitching I've already done? It's at home. Sorry, Martina. I should put some in my stories and things on Instagram just so I document that I'm doing it. I have filmed a couple things about it, like check-ins, because I am also using my iPad to use the schematic. I had this not so funny, but funny later on mishap the first, like within minutes of starting it. So I just need to finish stitching it and then I'll sew it up, and then yeah, you'll get to see it. I'm keeping it really simple. I'm not the biggest hand stitcher. So, but I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. And I'm using this linen I got from, I think from Needle Sharp. It's pretty lightweight, very floaty. Look, you can see my hand through it. And I have most of the pieces cut out, not all of them, because I wanted to wait and see before I finished cutting it out, because I have just barely enough fabric. And I'm also doing it 2 sizes smaller than it's recommended. So it's an experiment as usual. Okay, so this is the other thing I wanted to note when you print this out. Make sure, like when you see your printing pages, that you have the box of what sizes are what color, because they're not listed anywhere on the pattern. And if you print out just the mini, you're not going to get this. So thankfully I printed out the knee length and this was on here, because I kept going like, what size am I? Where are the sizes? And I couldn't see it. So this is down here on the knee length. So you might want to print the page out, like just find one that has it on there and print that out as well. Hi, Melinda. Nice to see you. All right, and then the other thing I wanted to say is, wait, I want to make sure there wasn't something else before, because I'm going to show you also how I'm figuring out my length. All right, so the other thing I want to say is there's an error with the grading. So I was trying to figure out, I was trying to put my juncture of my seam allowance, which is 3/8. Bye, Tammy. Have a good rest of your day. I'm going to zoom this in so you can see my pattern a little better. And you can see what I'm talking about, because I'm going to walk you through how to fix this. Okay. It's a free pattern, so, you know, maybe I'll email them and just give them a heads up. All right, so I wrote in the seam juncture. So it's a 3/8 inch seam allowance. I just used my marker. I have these dirty old rulers here. Wrote in my seam allowance here. And when I got here, I was like, pretty sure this one, oh, this is the front. I'm pretty sure the blue is the smallest size, but it's up at the top. See that? So this right here is the smallest size. That's the largest size. And I kind of was like, huh, that's really interesting, because usually the rise, well, always the rise gets longer per size. So I just kind of let it sit, and then I did the back. The back is correct. So you have the green up here at the top. That's the largest size. That's the smallest size right there. So see, I started putting in, anyway, don't worry about this. I was kind of like, well, is it the same down here? This is really weird. So I further was able to determine that it is indeed flipped up here, and I'll explain what that means. Because if you measure the side seam here, on each of these, they're a bit off. They're quite a bit off. You're going to be bummed that you'd have to stretch it through that section. So the reason I'm saying it's flipped is that means that what happened was, when you grade a pattern, which grading is the act of changing it into all the sizes. So, hey, you know, you want a size 14 as your medium, right? You design this garment. You're starting with your base size, whatever your block is in for your company. It's a size 14, right? And then you have a grade rule, which is the difference, the actual quantity of inches or thereabouts between each size. That's your grade rule. So if you have a 1 inch grade rule, there's 1 inch between your waist, hip, and waist and hip and bust. If you have a 2-inch grade rule, it's a 2-inch. And then there's different increments for all the other parts of the pattern. That's just a very simplified way of saying what your grade rule is. So then you have your base size, you've got your perfect size 14, and then you want to grade it up and down into all the sizes that are on your size chart that you offer to the world. Well, you use an XY axis like this, right? So you have this XY axis, and you wrote, this is your 0, 0 point. So technically, this is usually the 0, 0 point on a pant. It's probably where this grain line is. I'm not quite sure, right? This is your 0 point. And then you move this to the right 1/4 of an inch and down 1/4 of an inch to make it bigger. You go up 1/4 of an inch and in 1/4 of an inch to make it smaller. So everything in relation to this imaginary axis, X and Y axis on your table, okay? So what happened here is, and then there's a negative and a positive, right? You're moving everything negative and positive in the X and the Y. And what happened, because I've seen this and I've done this myself, this got negative, but it should have been positive and vice versa for the sizes. So unfortunately, this right here, this is the largest size and this is the smallest size. That's only like 5/8 of an inch different there. But up here at the side seam, this is quite a bit, it's probably about the same, honestly. Oh, actually it's, weirdly, it's, let's see, let me see if I can see it. It's kind of a weird shape. I actually thought I missed some of the printing. It's about the same, and that's a problem too. You need this to grade up. You need this to grade the same as it's grading. I'm trying to make this really simple, and I'm making it harder to understand, so I apologize for that. But we'll just look at this right here. I'll give you a good example. If we measure this side seam here, it's 10 7/8 to this mini length, right? And if we measure the green one again over here to the mini length, oh wait, where is it? Oh my gosh, did I just measure to the wrong thing? I know the grade's flipped, but this is the, okay, mini length. Okay, that's the mini length. So I said this is 10 7/8, right? 10 7/8. It didn't match earlier. Oh my gosh, it matches now. Wait a minute. 10 and, oh yeah, but this one gets bigger. That's what's the problem. 10 7/8 on the small. Oh, and a 10 7/8 here. All right, well, that's really weird. They sew together, but the fact that they're not grading and the rise is flipped, there's something up there. Hi, Zuzi. Hey, thanks for becoming a Tier 3 patron on Patreon. I played your alert. Did you miss it? I'll play it for you. Because it's cute and we like seeing it. All right, so I am right that the grade is flipped, but there's something going on between this section and this section because there really should be a grade here. Your rise does change. And it usually changes a lot more than this, especially if you have a belly. And then here, if you look at this, this is the largest size right here. This is the smaller size. And on this one, it's the opposite. See? This is the small, this is the large. All right? I'll leave it there. I don't know anything about this company, and I don't think anything is bad about it at all. These things are like, whatever. This is what their choice, right? It's not bad. It sews together, but I do think that it would be better to have more grade here, you know? Usually your grade is about, it's about 3/4 of an inch between sizes on the on SML sizing. So Because who doesn't love a corgi? Exactly, especially one swimming. So, all right, so earlier when I measured it to the hip, and that's probably why it didn't work. It should be the same spot on both patterns, but it's not. And I don't really know why that would be. So this time I measured it to the hemline, which is where you would cut here and sew there. So that's partly why this time it worked. And it's because they made sure it sewed together, which is great. Anyway, I just wanted to say that. There's something up with the grade right here in the rise. And I don't know what it is. I got all ready to lengthen it, but okay, I guess it works. I'll double check it. It didn't to the hip. It does to the hem. I mean, it's like less than 1/4 of an inch off, you know? It's like, and that could be my taping, honestly. Let's try the smallest size. I really can't see here though. Sometimes it helps to hold it up to the light. I'm looking for a pin so I can just poke it in here. Oops. All right. Yeah, it matches. Matches fine. You're not gonna have any trouble sewing it. There you go. Oh, that's awesome, Debbie. No, I am wearing, and I apologize that I'm wearing this today because it's a gingham. You never see me wear this on camera. In fact, I didn't even make it on camera because of the gingham. This is my trial for the Myosotis dress for Deer and Doe. And it's the one without ruffles. So there's 2 views with Myosotis. One with the ruffles that are kind of like the one that you really associate with the Myosotis. So it has these big ruffles on the sleeves and it has the tear ruffle on the bottom. I love it. I do feel a little bit like a parade float. The waist is really high, like it's right under my bust. And then my buttons I am using are not even sewn, they're sewn on, but I didn't put buttonholes because I love the buttons so much. I wanted to save them for potentially another project. They're green. I don't know if you can even see them. Oh, I'd have to go really far over, but anyway. Okay, let's just get going. Let's move some stuff out of the way. All right, here's my fabric. So I'm using this kind of cotton knit in something that's sort of my skin tone so that I can wear it under lighter colored dresses because I'm always wearing black leggings. In fact, my Myosotis dress is a light color. So I forgot I had zoomed in. Hopefully you guys could see what I was doing. That's so strange that those side seams match. I need to go back and, I know it does, but I don't know how the grade is flipped and the side seams match. All right, I'm hoping to get 2 pairs out. Okay, so let's see here. Let me show you how I got my length. So I measured my shorts. I figured out what inseam my shorts were, my center front rise, my center back rise, my out seam, which is the side seam, the hem circumference, and then the waist of these pants. And so when I wanted to figure out what length I wanted for my inseam, I measured from the rise juncture here down to that amount. And so I still need to add my seam allowance. Oh no, I'm going to use lace, but I'll add a little bit. And I also think there should be probably a hem here, a hem shape. So let's see, I'm going to use this lace to extend beyond the bottom. Oh, D-Mac, what are you doing? Good morning. How's it going? How's it going, Dalvin? Nice to see you. You didn't have to do that? Oh my gosh. It's good to see you. Good to see you. All right, so let me carry on here. All right, so I'm using this lace hem just to kind of, I don't know, do something different for the bottom of these little shorts since they're going to be under. They're like petty pants, right? So I'm going to probably cover stitch these on, cover stitch this on to the edge, so it's going to be like that. So I only need about, you know, 1/4 inch or something like that. But I'm also going to add a seam allowance to these because I'll probably hem one pair and add the lace to the other. So I'm going to add a 3/4 inch hem, and I'm going to do a little bit of a shape so that you're not stretching out this edge when it's folded up. So I'll show you how to do this. So I'm going to be doing, oh, I also wanted to show you how to grade between sizes. I'm sorry, I'm a little thrown off. Yeah, no worries, D-Mac. Thank you. It was really nice of you. Will you play Fortnite with me? I don't think anyone's going to play with me this season. They made it so that everyone's going to hate it. But me. Okay, so I'm going to grade between the waists. So the sizes I'm looking at are this one and this one right here. Let's zoom in a little bit. I never grade between sizes, so let's do it. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to go out to this waist, but I'm going to keep this hip. So here's my full hip right here, and I want the narrower hip, and I'm going to go out to the waist. So I'm just going to kind of try and go to this next waistline. Just kind of draw a smooth transition there. And I'm going to cut off all the other sizes so I'm not confused. Have you? Oh, really? Okay, good. Cool. Thank you. It's so hard to find people to play that with now. I don't know, Zuzi, because the grade should not be less from one size to the next. So in fact, I would argue that larger size, you might have a larger belly and you would need a longer front rise. And the waistband doesn't get wider as far as the finished height of it, if that's what you mean. It does in circumference, but now here's the waistband. So you fold it like this. And this is the waist seam here. So yeah, I mean, oh, and there's a tall waistband and a short waistband. Ooh, I'm so glad by that. I didn't even notice that. So yeah, the grade is not going to be flipped here. And the fact that these side seam, like this lines up right here, is a little bit like, I think that's why. Because if this was the proper, like if it wasn't flipped, there would be that, I can't even describe it because I'm so used to seeing it that way. This would be here and this one would be up here. This would be up here. Like oh. And because there's no grade here, there's like no grade here, basically, on the side seam. So, yeah, I think they tested it. It looks great on all their models, so I'm not here to say anything bad about it. It was just something I noticed, and when I originally measured, I went to this full hip location, and it didn't match. And now I'm wondering, maybe I was wrong about the size of colors, because there's duplicate colors here. There's 2 oranges and 2 greens. There's 3 greens and 2 oranges, and it was a little confusing. There's 2 pinks, so I may have picked the wrong size. That being said, the grade shouldn't be flipped, so. All right. So let's add this. We want this orange hem here, orange side seam. We're going to add a flare here so that when it's hemmed up, you could do it like this. You can just fold your paper. This would be the easiest, least confusing way to do it. I did this for years. The problem with this is that sometimes you're doing it on paper that you can't fold. Or maybe you're doing it on vellum and then you can't fold it. I don't usually use a rotary knife to cut my patterns out, but see, now I have this little flare right here. And that's so that when it's folded up like this, it's going to actually meet the side seam there. Oh, Libby, it didn't come. The paint didn't come. This was my backup stream. I had to like throw it together really quick yesterday. All right, and so let me cut this out here. All right, so now we have that. So I've graded between the waist and the hip. We'll do the same thing over here. And we'll even cut this out on this side. And we can use it to redraw our side seam on this one. So we're gonna go, I'm gonna use the, I don't really know which one to use, honestly. Okay, so here's my pattern piece. And so I want this waist and this hip. Right? See that? So just gonna blend this in. And then I would lay this on here and see how you did, because they still need to sew together. Right? Like that. And then let me show you how to do the hem if you can't fold it. It's a little confusing. All right, so I've added the parallel line, which is my cut edge for the hem. This is my finished edge. That's the fold line. Now, if this needs to match the side seam here, and this is the line I'm going for right here, this one. So just ignore these other sizes here. You're going to put your ruler on it so that you're perpendicular to this line, to the fold line. So the ruler is perpendicular to this fold line right here. And you're going to slide it over to where it's 3/4 of an inch up. And the other way you can do this is you can mark 3/4 of an inch right there. So there's your juncture, okay? Line your ruler up so it's perpendicular. And now draw a little dot down here where that is, right? It's a mirror. And then draw this little diagonal line here to fill it in. And then you have your cut line. You're going to do the same thing over here. So I always just slide my ruler over, but this is a little bit more straightforward. So draw another parallel line, right? Here's your fold line, right? And then you're going to draw a matching notch straight up and down. Remember, this ruler is perpendicular to the fold line. My Sharpie is so fat, I have to kind of slide it over. And then now fill it in from this fold line to your new point right there. And now when it's folded and sewn like that, let's see how good I did. There it is. See, my ink is right there. That was the line I drew. So that's what we're doing. And the reason you want to do this, I know this seems like a little bit extra, is especially if you're cover stitching or something. If you don't, you're going to be stretching this cut edge to sew onto your shorts. And then what that can happen is makes your hem circumference bind on you a little bit. And this is a free pattern, so I don't expect this kind of nuance to be on there. So, thanks, Libby. Yeah, I was like at 4:30 yesterday, like, You remember you got a stream, right? Tomorrow you've kind of already decided the paint's not arriving. You better get on it. All right, so I have this cut and I'm still torn about this, but I'm just gonna go by it. Let's see, I picked the orange line over here, so we'll pick the orange line on this side too. All right. I'm gonna use the wider waistband, a wider, softer waistband. I feel like I've got ink now on my hands. We're gonna put this by the cover stitch. And I'm gonna try and cut two. Well, let's raise the camera up. A little more space there, huh? All right, let's see if I can get a little more of this. It's like just the width of my table. It's really wide. But I really want to pack it on here just to see if I can get two pairs, you know? Because I think I can get two pairs, no problem. I mean, look at how sharp that is. This is sharp like this because there's no grade in the front waist. That's why. This is why it does this. All right, if I did my waistband here, could I get two across? No, I couldn't. I'm not sure I can get two of these. Because unless I do two narrower waistbands, I'm just gonna hold this over here for a second. Gosh, it's so close. I think I can do it. I think I can do it. I can get two pairs. I can't remember how much of this I got. Let's see. I saved all my little tags. They actually give you a little tag. This was when I bought the fabric at Mill End. And they put this little thing on here. And I saved it. Nude knit. I got 1.5 yards. So 2 pairs out of 1.5 yards for $21. My lace was probably $2 or $3. So not bad. I'm gonna get 2 pairs of undershorts, you know, for under $30, right? Like for under $25. So Eliza, the thing is, the pattern sews together, so you're not gonna have any trouble sewing it together. The side seams do match. However, oh, thanks for subscribing, Snows. That's on Twitch, isn't it? I wish I was streaming on Twitch. Sorry, I'm not. Oh, that's a Prime sub. That is very nice. Who did that? Who did that? Thank you. All right, so do you see how sharp this goes up in the center back? The reason is because this grade is flipped right here. So if this grade were the reverse and the small was down here and the large was up here, it would be, this would be up here and it would be a little bit more in line with it, right? It wouldn't have to go all the way down. So I'm not trying to harp on it. I'm sorry. I just don't have my words formulated very well and I'm trying to figure it out on the fly. And I just wanted you to be aware, that's all. I'm not trying to bash the pattern. The pattern's free and I'm totally down for it. The pattern looks great on so many people. It's knit, so it's pretty forgiving. So, you know. So it'll sew together, and they just didn't notice that the reason they have this sharp thing here, because they're like, wow, why are we having to get all the way down here to the side seam? It's just because this one's not graded. It's flipped and it's not graded very much. So, all right, I'm gonna get this all the way up to the edge so I can get 2 pairs. And I really want a clean ruler, you know? I would, Eliza. Was Millen the one with the fancy yardage cutting? Well, it wasn't fancy, but they do cut on the grain. Yeah. It was you, Danielle? Oh, are you saying you were the, yes, Snowflake. Thank you for your Prime sub. That was awesome. I love that some of you are still persevering doing that, even though I can't make it on Twitch now. I just got a clean ruler because my rulers I use as I draw grain lines on them along them, and so you can't see it, but watch. Can you see all that black ink on there? It's so my ruler, so I don't mix them up. This one's even worse. Because the ink doesn't like soak in. It just sits on the surface, and you can see all these little stripes on my hands. I've had these for years. That's what it is. All right, so I'm just gonna use this so I can measure to my fold and make sure that I'm on the grain, and I'm not. And we're gonna get all the way over. I just realized, oh, maybe this grain line goes like this. I don't know why I thought that. Wishful thinking. 5 3/4. Doesn't that look crooked? It's not. It looks crooked to me. This one I don't have to get as close. It's the back that I'm a little worried about. All right, I'm gonna cut this out. I'm gonna cut one pair with hems and one pair without. Maybe the pair without is gonna make it so that I can get the 2 pairs on. Because one's gonna have the lace. I didn't get enough lace for 2 pairs. Gosh, maybe I should save this for making a camisole. Ooh. Okay, Sue. Nice. Enjoy. It's the finale. Oh, I can't wait to hear what everyone thinks, even though I can't watch it. It looks like a very short rise. You can opt for the wider waistband. See, there's 2 cutting lines here. Hi, Allison. All right, so here is our short. I think I'm gonna save the yardage and make a camisole. You know, you guys? Because I think I could, don't you think I could get one out of that? Just a front and a back, no sleeves? I think I could. And we'll find it. Anyone know a camisole pattern? I'm gonna use you guys. Crowdsource my patterns. All right. Let's make this grain line a little longer. Right? Yeah, enjoy for us in the US. Us deprived Americans. We're so deprived here, aren't we? So I don't really need this hem since I'm going to be using the lace, so we'll just cut it off afterward. Don't cut the paper, Jeremy. I think, like, if you have some extra fabric, I would maybe try them out too, Eliza. I mean, I know, like, you probably don't want to have to. The other thing you could do is compare to your pattern, and I did compare to my shorts, and the rise was a little bit shorter, but not by much. Aw, Lynn, thank you. Thank you, Lynn. You guys are all so generous today. Oh my goodness. Appreciate it. Appreciate it since, oh man, it was such a scramble getting a stream ready. I was like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna stream? Because I have tons of things I can stream, but there we go, there it is. But I need more prep time sometimes. And I have everything ready for the 100 Acts of Sewing stream starting tomorrow. But I said to everybody that they are starting tomorrow, and I told her, Sonia, So I didn't want to change that up on folks. And some folks might be able to get a book by then. All right, I'm just cutting a 1/2 inch off and leaving myself a 1/4 inch seam allowance to put the lace on. That's all. Okay, you are Legion. This fabric is a cotton spandex knit. Doesn't really give you a very good close-up look to it. And then I have matching lace. I got something that was roughly my skin tone so that it won't show that I'm wearing black shorts when I'm wearing something a little more pale in color. Oh, Green Style Creations has a knit cami. Okay. Quick hello. Hello, Beverly. Ooh, you're taking Spanish? ¿Cómo está usted? Avery Leggings, the Gusset is the secret. Oh, is that the Helen's Closet one? You got the book, Susie? Nice! Did you see on Patreon, because I think it was the day you signed up on there, on Patreon I shared my JPEG so people can use it from Procreate if you want to plan out your designs. It's a pretty fun book. I'm gonna be honest, you guys. Like, I'm not getting paid. I don't get anything for doing the stream except content. And we all know that it costs a lot to stream. She sent me fabric, so I'm gonna make her a bunch of things. I'm gonna send them back. But the book is really fun. Like, for someone like me who just likes to change things up a bit, and I don't do that a lot because I'm usually sewing someone's pattern, I'm into it. Like, I sat there, it was like, don't do this, it's Sunday, it's your day off. But I was like having so much fun drawing different options. In fact, I even made myself like an index of all the options. And I'm even thinking like, maybe I'm gonna draw, I think what I'm gonna do is draw each of the options. And so then I could like switch it. I could do like a flip book, you know what I mean? There are so many Camry. Itch to Stitch has one too. The Ogden is woven, right? I was so nice. Yeah, it's such a niche, right? I know a lot of folks are just like, Procreate, iPad, come on. I understand, I understand. All right, we're gonna open this up and try to get this on the grain and parallel to the grain, the selvage parallel to the grain. We don't want any torquing on something like this. So I'm kind of a little scared to cut this really long rectangular piece out unless I know it's on the grain. In fact, you know what almost is better is, I don't know if that's almost better. Yeah, okay. Do I prefer to have some leggings and not a lining on the dress? Well, I think lining a dress is appropriate often, but I wear these mostly because I don't want my legs touching when it's hot. It also helps, like, when you hop in the car and your seat is 1,000 degrees, you're so thankful you have shorts on under your dress. Yeah. But I do think lining is nice too. The black screen of death, oh no. My husband just upgraded his. He hadn't in a really long time. I know this is the fold. I'm just putting this up to the selvage here. Doesn't really matter which end is the fold. So we're going to do the waist of the pink one, right? We're doing the waist of the pink, hip of the orange. So I think what I'm going to do is I don't have my little score thingy. I'm going to score the fabric right here, and I'm going to fold it there, a little past it, so I have a little room. And now I know it'll be on grain. Because there's no seam along the waist edge, I want to make sure that I don't get any torquing. And this is a very fiddly thing. You could absolutely get torquing so easily on something long and narrow, and I am a champ at doing that. At like long, narrow things not being very accurate, because I am a little cavalier sometimes, you know? You know. I think you only need one of these, yep. And the kind of like height I'm going for is, I don't want something too tight. Like the idea of something cinching me in is a little bit appealing, I will say. But at the same time, because all my dresses are so different from one another and the waists are different spots, if I cinch myself in down here, I might create like a little bump that'll show through on my dress. So I'm kind of going for something that fits me as a second skin that's not too snug. And also something that's not gonna ride up. I will say, like, I think if you found a fabric that was a little slipperier, you might like it because your garment's not gonna get hung up on it, because there's always that worry that maybe your dress gets stuck up on your butt and you don't realize it. And even though you have leggings on, you don't really want that look, you know, so. Oh, okay, cool, Beverly, the itch to stitch one. That's a second vote for that. You were hoping for the black screen of death, Susie? Yeah, the not having a home button is kind of weird. Yeah, exactly. No sausages. I think that's the pink notch right there. They used the dotted line that your size corresponds with for the notches, so it's a little hard to see. I'm going to put a little nip in there. And I'm also going to do the center. You only have 3/8 of an inch, so be really careful here. All right, we're ready to sew. All right, I really wanted 2 pairs, but I do have black that's a wool cotton knit that I'll also make eventually, but not now. Probably closer to cooler weather. Oh, Allison. Oh, you know what, Allison? Shame on every person you walked by who didn't say something. They're the ones that should be embarrassed, you know? You want to be encased fully like a sausage. You just want a bodysuit. I remember one time I was at an amusement park, and the line in the bathroom was really, really long. Like really, really long. Probably 20 women. And you know, some of those women had a few kids with them. And this woman walked out in front of me. And so I had just gone, she had washed her hands, and I can't remember the logistics of this. And her dress was stuck in her underwear, and she didn't have leggings or tights on. And she walked by all these women. The way the line was, it was one of those where you had to, there was one entrance and one exit. So they all saw her and they didn't say anything. And when I saw her, I was like, oh, excuse me. And it took me a bit to catch up to her. And I turned around to those women. I was like, shame on all of you for not saying something to her. And they were all kind of like, because come on. You know what I mean? Like, that is shame on them. All right, we're going to go. I almost passed out when I did it, but hey. All right, we're going to go to the, oh, let me put the chat on my phone too. I don't have a face cam over here. I'm just not that sophisticated, you know? But I'm going to pull up my stream here. And I need to mute it. There it is. Nope, I need to mute it again. I'm not a sweetheart. I am a very justice-bound person. Doesn't make me very sweet sometimes. Sounds breezy. Exactly. All right, so how's everything look? All right, so let's position these because it's kind of easy to get your shorts a little bit confused with the right and wrong side and then have two lefts or two rights. So let's just lay them out right now. And also, oh yeah, I almost did that. Okay, this one goes here, this one goes here. I'm putting them right sides together, so now I have a left leg and a right leg. So I'm going to do the inseam and the side seam, and then we're going to do the rise, and we're going to use the serger. I hate those Streamlabs things, how they break it up into two. Okay, so I have thread that matches pretty good on the cover stitch, and that's the one that'll be a little visible. But on my serger, well, guess what, Martina? I swapped my cord with my old cover stitch machine, and now it touches the ground. So the circus act has left town. The circus has left town, for now at least. We'll see how it goes. I gotta make sure that this cord works on my other machine before I swap it out permanently, but it's made by the same people, and you know, it does work. I got a little nervous there. It's kind of hard to see the right and wrong side of this fabric, man. Whew. It looks very similar. All right, so we're doing the inseam, we're doing the out seam. The inseam's real short. It's a 3/8 inch seam allowance, so I'm just trimming off a tiny bit. This is my ideal seam allowance for knits when you're using a serge. Hey, Ray. Thank you. Yeah, you know it. I literally have got your back, your backside. I've got your backside. You know, always walk in front of me. I was pretty surprised that none of those people told her. Like, that is rude. I'm trimming a little more than 1/8 there. One time I was at a Chipotle and there was a woman eating by herself, and everyone just kind of kept looking at her kind of oddly, or kind of trying to steal glances at her. And then I realized it was because she was wearing her bra and some like workout shorts, and that was it. And I was just like, you know, instead of that, why don't you ask her if there was someone, like a friend that she knew that they could call or something, because she was obviously probably not supposed to be out on her own. All right, so turn one of your short legs right side out, leave the other one inside out, okay? And then you're gonna slip one in the other. And if you have a left and a right leg, everything's gonna be fine. If you don't, you might wanna now have 2 left legs or 2 right legs, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think it might, Eliza, a little bit. That's why I was saying, I don't know if you heard this, but I was thinking that if you can find a slipperier fabric, you might opt for that. My only caveat with that is that some slippery knits are probably going to be in the synthetic range, and synthetic might be warmer, you know? All right, and so I'm offsetting my seam juncture here. So one seam is pointing that way and one is pointing towards me. And when I get to it here, I may have to kind of ease it in there to go, oh, it's grabbing it. No problem. That's because I got a new machine. All right. Dang, with the donations and the Patreon today, I think that you guys have all bought my undershorts. And then some. That's awesome. All right, so now we have our shorts here. So I want to make sure I remember, look at how short that rise is. Holy, holy. Okay, let me get a clip. I don't want to get a pin, but oh, there's my hair clip. I am so glad I didn't lose that. Okay, I'm just gonna stick this here, and then we're gonna put our waistband into a circle. So you're gonna put the two short ends together. I'm pretty sure, I think the rule of thumb with figuring out the right and wrong side of knits is when you pull it, it usually curls to the right side. So you see how it's curling to this side, and that's the right side. Yeah, it sounds, I agree, it sounds really nice. And I don't know, I think it's just also brands and stuff like that. Not just newness. All right, we're just gonna overlock that those two short ends together. The other recommendation I should have said when we were cutting is that if you're gonna cut this out and sew it the next day, make sure you do, because if you wait much past that, using these single knits, meaning they're not double knits, means that this edge is gonna roll and it just gets worse and worse and worse. And that rolling can really ruin the pleasure of the sewing experience. It's such a drag. All right, I'm just lining up all these raw edges. Exactly. It's like, I like that, Susie. You can pick out one thing, and I'm like, all right, well, what would people like the most? And do I want it too? All right, so we have these raw edges lined up. I'm trying to be really gentle because I want to make sure I'm not getting any torquing. See? So here we go. I'm looking at the notches here. See how they're lining up as well. Well, now I get a camisole, Eliza, so I do feel like I get to pick two things now. I don't use these clips all the time, but they're really handy. They're kind of expensive. If you're not a quilter, I don't think you need this big of a box. If you're just a garment sewist and you kind of want some of these, maybe get the smaller box. What I like about the big box is that I can have some at home and some here, and it's easy to find the box. All right, I'm just putting this wrong sides together, lining up my notches. I don't even know if I'm gonna need all these clips. I'm just kind of doing it because this is going so fast to sew. Okay, two. Exactly. All right, so we're gonna put our shorts inside out. Now, I am of the school of thought that if you want your side seam on the side of, or your back, your seam at the side, and rather than at your center back, go for it. If it helps you determine that that's the back, great. But sometimes it's nice, and I think in this case, having the seam at the center back is actually a good call. You know, I sort of want to, I'm just gonna serge this on here. My single needle's hooked up, but I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna let the seam decide which way it wants to press. And I'm just going to serge this on a little bit. Just a whittle bit. I don't think I've ever done that before. I usually always use a regular machine to tack my label on. That is funky, and I am not surprised that it's funky. You can't fix the rolling. What I say is if you're going to wait, like if you're one of those folks, and a lot of us are, who likes to batch cut things out. So say you spend one Saturday cutting a bunch of stuff out. If one of them is a knit that rolls, I say wait if you're going to wait a long time to sew it, or sew it the next day. Like, don't wait, because this rolling just gets worse and worse. You saw the edge of my fabric. See, this was cut a few weeks ago. Look at that. You know? This is so hard to deal with, and it just gets worse and worse. That's the selvage. This is the cut edge. And battling it while you're sewing, it just really makes sewing kind of a drag. So just do it right away. All right, is this the back? That's the back. I'm just lining up the notches. Why not? I don't think you really need to be this fussy with it, especially if your fabric's not rolling. I'm going to let this seam go the direction it wants to go, and it wants to go that way. There's no gusset at the crotch, by the way. I know you know that by now, but this is the back. Right, yeah. My labels are a little bit narrow at the top for overlocking. Hi, Sutter. How's it going? I forgot your name. Yeah, you could totally baste it if you want. The only reason I'm not doing that is I don't want to stretch it out. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. So Lynn's explaining why it does that. The reason is because this is the purl side and this is the knit side. So if you're looking at a sweater that is knit on one side and purl on the other, if you saw that sweater on the ground without its edges finished, it would be rolling towards the front, the good side. And I don't want to start a controversy of saying knit is the good side in knitting, because purl is all equally beautiful, and I don't mean to offend it, but I'm just using it as a demonstration. All right, I'm going to start right here off the center. But yeah, because it's a single knit. Now, if it were double knit, that would mean that there were purls and knits on both sides of the fabric, and that means it's pulling against itself, and it doesn't have a right or wrong side, and it doesn't roll. Come on, there we go. Make sure you catch all 3 layers. Definitely, even though you're like, oh my God, these are going so fast, I'm so excited to see these, I can't wait to try these on. Take your time on this step and make sure you don't miss that middle layer, or any layer for that matter, because you're gonna be bummed. Taking it apart and getting it back in there is not easy. So make sure you have all 3 layers at all times. Sarah, that's it. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, you could totally do that, Zuzi. Yeah, you could totally do that. I'm with you on that, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Lynn. The public side, exactly. So, yeah, because there'll be these like temporary, you know, campaigns for saying, you know, garter stitch is beautiful, you know, or purl side is just as beautiful. I actually have 2 sweaters where the purl side is the right side of the garment, the public side. The other thing, Zuzi, is making sure that your waist, wherever the garment ends, is actually ending at a spot that's smaller than things below it. And if that's not possible for you, then yeah, maybe make it a little snugger and maybe make the bottom a little looser. And it might help. I think especially when I was younger and getting older and older and my size would change really subtly and I wasn't noticing it, that's the places I would notice it, is like all of a sudden I'd be like, why am I always hiking up my clothes? Like they're slipping down, and I don't think it's because I'm getting smaller. I think it's because I'm getting bigger, and that's why. And it's because it's too small to go around the top part of where it's sitting. Or not the top part, but just the part that it's sitting. So it's falling off. All right, so where's my waistband? There's my label. I might cut my label off a little bit. So when you come to the beginning of this, you're going to sew along this serging here. And you don't want to nick these little stitches with your blade. So this is kind of you just got to get good at this. So sew for a little bit so that you're overlapping your stitches by like an inch or something, and that you can get a nice smooth transition so you don't have like a point. You don't want to go off your waistband and then have like a little point there, right? So try and do that, and then just run your blade along those and don't cut them. And then I pull it off kind of drastically. I push my fabric away like that. You see, and then that way you have a smooth transition there and you don't nick any, because sometimes when you nick them, you'll see those little raw edges of your threads that have all been cut poking through, and then you start doubting like, oh shoot, is that going to come apart eventually? All right, so now this is looking good. Let's see how my label came out. Oh, not bad. Wow, that actually worked. I'm kind of shocked. But what I'm not liking is, you see this, like, you see how, I don't know, can you see that? I'm gonna see on the camera. This is bulbing out like this. And that's because of that really high grade there. It's gonna be fine when it's on, but see that, how it's going in there? Yeah, you really need a better transition between the back and the front. I thought I had a tuck there. I almost have a tuck there. It's a little off camera, sorry guys. So I'll show it again here. Over here, there. So this is what I'm talking about, like this little spot. Can you see it? But all in all, these look pretty cute. Really fast too. Oh, that's a fade line. Oh no, that's where I scored it. Okay, I was like, that's a fade line. That's where I just scored it with my scissors. That'll be fine, that'll wash out. Okay, so now we're gonna put the lace on the bottom. And I think I'm gonna have to put this on in a circle because I didn't think about this ahead. And if I had thought about this ahead, I would have actually done this differently. I would have left the inseam open, put the lace on flat, and then done the inseam. I'm kind of bummed I didn't think about that. Oh well. All right, so this is the right side. I think that that's the bottom. Yeah, that looks right side up. All right. So now I have to make it in a circle, which is so home sew. I'm not saying that in a disparaging way. I just feel like a lot of home sew things are harder, to be honest. They're just harder. Okay, I'm gonna cover stitch this on. Wait, I missed some things. So mine too, Zuzi. I think it has to do with circumference at our hips. Yeah, I think so too, Ray, being too small. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if your waistband's just looser, I would do it a couple of sizes smaller if it's knit. Could I cover stitch? I'm sorry, I didn't see when you said that, Barbara, so I'm not sure. When I make a second pair, will you adjust this pattern? I'm going to try them on and see. There is no that is true. There is no public side. Nobody better be seeing my undershorts, right? I think, are you saying, will I adjust them for that center front rise thing? I'm going to see how they fit. Gosh, do I have enough? Oh, I do. Oh, I did buy enough for 2 pairs. I wonder if maybe I could use this on the bottom of my camisole. And I'd have a matching set. Oh, I love it. Okay. The waist seam. Oh, you know what? I actually did think about doing that. Do you mean to top stitch it down so that it's nice and flat? I like that idea. I wonder how it would do going through my label. I'm not sure it would like going through this. And so if you were going to do that, you might want to offset this seam, which might bug you, depending on how your cover stitch goes through thicknesses, you know, or make sure both these seams are, the seam allowance on this is pointing one way and then this is pointing the other way. That might help offset your thicknesses. I actually like that idea. Barbara, I like that idea. I thought about this yesterday. Now I wish I would have thought about it today. What's going on here? Oh, okay. Huh. I'm really not sure I can with my label in there. It's just too thick. If I was going up, maybe, but you just wouldn't probably do that. I keep seeing a thread here. Here it is. You'd probably want to push it down. Matching just like my jammies. Yes, the rise is so abrupt. That's a good word for it. I'm going to overlock this. Like I said, if I would have thought about this, I would have cover stitched this lace on flat. I wouldn't do it in the round like this. Adds a layer of difficulty. I honestly think like a lot of, and I think like sewists that are learning in this generation have it a lot less stressful than they did, 30, 40 years ago, because I feel like there was such a push for looking so nice, like you needed to fool people that it was home sewn, right? And I also think that it was a nod to using couture, like making your home sewn things look couture sewn when they were, not couture items. That looks pretty nice. I think I'm gonna go to the single needle machine and top stitch this down. And then what else do I want to top stitch anything else? I don't think so. On the lower neckline. That's interesting. All right, let's see. Can I turn this around? A little bit. Oh my gosh, I love sitting here. All right, you can't see me though. Let's see. It's really dark. Why is it so dark? It's so dark. That's the light. I don't have the light on over here though. All right, so I was fiddling with this over there. So what I did was I took my serger threads here and I put them to the inside, and I'm going to put them to the side that wants to push this direction, and I'm just going to top stitch it down nice and flat. that. Kind of make it nice and clean. Oh, I forgot to sew a little bit after changing my thread color though. Hi Elena, nice to see you. I'm gonna do the same thing over here. So I'm just gonna press this serger. I found that if I cut it really short, it gets really hard to manage. So I'm just gonna leave it long, kind of tuck it in there, make it look nice. Just like that. And then top stitch it down. Why is it having trouble getting started? Like that. And then we're going to cover stitch it on to the leg. I'm just thinking. All right. These are almost done, you guys. For a backup stream, this went really good. How are you doing, Elena? I was supposed to be painting on the non-slip today, and it didn't arrive on my rugs that I sewed last week. So my plan, when that stuff arrives, I'll just do an impromptu stream with it. All right, so this should be exciting. So here's my 2 tips. Okay, this isn't, oh gosh, my shoe came untied again. This is a little bit tricky to do. I don't have a free arm. Some machines have a free arm, which means you have like a narrow foot bed of your machine that you can put over like this, you know, a cuff or something. And obviously that doesn't work. And with a cover stitch, you're usually doing this from the right side. So one of the things you can do is, you know, I can turn this inside out and then I can see, right? Everything's above the bed of the machine, right? So you could do this blind like this. I'm going to put this right sides together. Or no, I'm putting it wrong side to right side. Sorry, let me say what I'm really thinking. I think I'm going to put this seam. It would look nicer on the inseam so it wasn't showing, but that's also kind of a sensitive area. It's kind of low on my leg though. It'll be fine. So let's see. This is what I think is the end. So when you're doing a circle also, don't start sewing the circle without it being, the machine being on the inside of the circle. Otherwise what'll happen is if you do this, I'm not sure I could do it wrong. Let's see, could I do it wrong? What'll end up happening is you can't go all the way around your circle. So just be careful with it, kind of get it in there. So this is one way to do it, and this is going to be the harder way to do it, and I'm going to show you an easier way to do it. Kind of a cheaty way, but we don't mind that, right? Especially if you are doing it in a circle like this. Presser foot pressure. Yeah, I know, but that reason I was wondering was because I actually loosened it so much for the rug sewing, and that felt really tight. Ah, you're cleaning out your ice maker. I am going to stretch it a little bit, but it's not going to be much. I kind of wanted to make sure these didn't ride up on me at all. All right, this is the bottom. All right, so we're going to line this up. So make sure you're in the inside of your circle. I'm not sure you could do it wrong on here, but just make sure. I'm just going to line it up about 1/4 inch past this raw edge here. I'm going to put my seam, kind of nestle them together. I've actually never done this thing before. Never done this particular like lace on the edge of something with a cover stitch. This is first time for me. Now this is pretty easy because I can see through the lace in some ways. Yeah, let's also make sure we don't end up with extra. Trying to get that to not roll. It wants to roll. I wonder if top stitching this would look nicer rather than using the cover stitch. The thing about the cover stitch is it's stretchy. I wish I would stop letting go of it and adjusting and just keep going. Just keep going. Don't stop and adjust. You don't need to. Do I think the cover stitch is the ideal machine for this? No. All right. I'll go a few extra stitches. Okay, forward, backward, up, pull. I did okay. You can see the raw edge poking down. This thread color doesn't quite match. It is nice and stretchy though. Yeah, it doesn't look that great. It's okay. I'm trying to think, how would I do this nicer? Actually, what if I serged it on? I think that would look nicer. I actually think that would look nicer. Don't you? I don't think the cover stitch was the right thing. Like I said, I've never done this. I've never sewn lace to the bottom of something before. I've spec'd it out for a factory. Let's see. So my other way to do this, maybe this isn't also like I'm saying, like maybe you don't want your lace on top of the garment like this. I do think it's more comfortable because it's not going to scratch you. But in keeping with my lace being on top, here is I think a good way to get around the blind way to do that we're doing this. Where's the back? That's the back. So I'm going to overlock this. Blind stitching. Yeah, I think blind stitching is a way better way. I'm just going to overlock this edge. Yeah, you would have to top stitch it flat. Stop that. Don't do that. I'm doing a demo here. I've sewn tons of trim in my life. I just am realizing that a lot of the trim I have sewn doesn't require the same kind of treatment lace would. All right, so we're just overlocking this edge. Oh, I can never find that knife back there, so let me cut it. I'm liking the cover stitch a lot, Zuzi. This is my second one, but it's my first freestanding one. I'm reading chat. Yeah, I think zigzag would be a good way to go as well. All right, so this is my other way. Like I said, I don't think doing lace on top like this, even though we see it in store-bought stuff, as far as what you can do to replicate that, I don't know. But if you are attaching something and you got to cover stitch it and you don't like doing it blind like I just had to do, the other way to do it is serge your edge first and then do it from this side, and then you're going to have a cover stitch edge. Ooh, this actually feels harder. It would be easier if you were doing this, a hem, and then you cover stitch this, and then what you would see is the cover stitch on this side. So maybe my example is not good. This is kind of fun. I'm kind of failing at both my things. I like this. I'm learning something right now. I love it. Okay, this is the bottom of the, okay, yeah. I like learning stuff. All right, so wait, this is my lace. That's the top edge, that's the bottom edge. This goes like this. I need it to cover the serging. I don't like that this serging right here shows though. Oh, let's turn this right side out. This is the inside. I'm like keeping track of lots of things. This is the inside. This is the inseam. This is the bottom edge. So it's going to go like this. You know, honestly, I don't know. It is a legit way to get away with not having to blind cover stitch, but in this case, this is like the first case it doesn't really apply. No. Oh my gosh, I almost did it the backwards way. I'm stuck on my feed dogs. So I'm putting my lace wrong side to the right side. Make sure your serging goes past the lace. And now I got to get it in here without it getting caught on my feed dogs because it's kind of catchy. Kind of catchy. There we go. We're definitely not probably doing the best thing, but hey, it's an experiment. I'm having to lift it up to make sure that I am staying on the lace and that my serging is hidden by the lace as well. This actually is pretty easy. This isn't hard because I can see. Just think if my thread color actually matched. I don't think this is gonna work. Let's see. You guys are probably all screaming at me in chat. Let go. There we go. It's caught on my feed dogs. Oh gosh. I mean, if the thread matched, I think this would be good. It would be okay. I don't have cones of this thread. All right, here we go. That wasn't good. I'm kind of feeling like, you know what, you guys? You know what? I don't like this. I'm not leaving it like this. I don't care if they're under shorts. The inside looks really nice. I hope you can see me. Let me turn the camera, or turn the monitor so I can see that you can see me. Yeah, I think like the trick with this would have been leaving it flat, but the inside looks really nice. I don't like the outside. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm cutting it off. Oh, here's my other one. So this was the one with the cover stitch on the outside with the double needle and the cover stitch on the inside. See that? That's this one. I can handle that if the thread matched, you know. You've had me on mute. Okay, wait. I'm making just the shorts today. Yeah, exactly, Barbara. I'm reading chat. I have to go outside. Yeah, turned up and zigzagged. Exactly. Cut it. Yeah. Sarah's like, cut it off. Martina's like, no, don't cut it. I don't know, you guys. I kind of think, all right, what would be my solution since I don't have a zigzag? What would be my solution? What can I do with what I have here that I would like? So let's think about this. All right, so I know that not everybody likes to sew the way I like to sew. I like things to be really easy and straightforward, you know? So, and I think everybody wants things easy and straightforward. I guess what I mean to say is I like things to be as if I were gonna make 25 of them. I know that's kind of crazy and it's a little bit of a stretch, but I also think I'm more apt to, what the heck is that? To make it again or make it a few times if it's pretty easy to do. This works if my thread matched. That's the problem there. This one's okay. So if I serged it on, let's say I put this right sides together along the edge, and then it turns and it looks like that. Now what happens if I don't top stitch it? What's gonna happen? Is this going to go down like this and then it flip up like that? Is that what's gonna happen? What if what if I serge this edge and top stitch it on? I think that would be the way, the zigzag it. Well, I think, Martina, if I do that, no one, Malin, but I feel like now I want to figure it out. Fold a little band and serge. Oh, I like that idea. If you like how the inside looks, can you do it so it looks like that on the outside instead? The appearance is bothering me only in the fact that the thread doesn't match. And it also doesn't look store-bought. I'm not going for store-bought, but I do think that there's some advantages to the way some store-bought things are sewn. I don't know, I'm feeling a little conflicted. I don't like the way this looks because of the thread. And it also is, do you see it cupping like this? This one lays flatter. You saw me cut these exactly the same. This one lays flatter. This is the one with the double needle on the top, the cover stitch on the bottom, okay? This one looks nicer on the inside. So I think what would look the nicest with the machinery I have set up right now is if I overlocked the edge and single needle top stitch it on, stretching it as I go so that it doesn't pop, and it won't. Yeah, I know, no one will. They're totally acceptable, you guys. You're right. They're acceptable. They're fine. They're fine. You're right. I don't have to change them. It's just I'm kind of now down the what could I do to make them look better rabbit hole, and what would be easier to sew. This looks way better than this. Don't you agree? This looks better on the inside than this. This is my stellar cover stitching skills here. I need to use a wider one, but I don't want a wider double needle on the other side. Flatter, yeah, right? This one, I could remove the cover stitching. Do I think it's worth it? Not really. I don't mind cutting it off. Oh, but you're right. This has that, I have a chain stitch on this one. Oh, see my old cover stitch, can I find it? Easy? Wait, do I go this direction or the other direction? So my old cover stitch was a lock stitched. It didn't come unraveled if I Let's see. Can I find it? Which way would it go? Would it go this way? I did this going this way, so it would be this one. This is the one. Let me see if I can grab it. So if I can salvage this one, then I'll make it look like. No, I like this one better. Why did I start picking on this one? Oh my God, you guys. Blank slate. It's okay, it's okay. We're learning. This one's so bad. My little trick is great if you're hemming, but not for that. That's not good. All right. Yeah, but Libby, I don't know about the cover stitching. I think the cover stitching is not ideal. Because then I would end up with, so say I cover stitched this, right? So we serged it on like this, right? I would have a double needle right there, which is, I mean, do we like that idea? A double needle right here? Or a single needle? Maybe you're right. The double needle. I actually think that would look okay. All right, let's try this. I'm like, do I do it in the round still? I will suffer through the doing it in the round, but know this. If you're going to add a lace hem, like I like hems in the round. I don't think if you're cover stitching, you have to do your hems in the round. I think either way it's fine. But if you're doing something like adding a trim, whatever it is, leave your inseam open. I think you're going to find it's a little less fussy. You're going to be more apt to enjoy it. I think enjoying it is part of the, you know, deserving. I think we should enjoy it. We don't do this because it's, you know, we're saving money. What am I looking for? Here we go. Make headbands out of them. There we go. Why don't I use a piece of scrap to try? Because this is it. This is all the lace I have. This is it. YOLO. All right. I'm going to do this. Serge the ends together again. Because I have to do this in the round. I could actually just single needle this. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. My phone. There, I'm not even using the shortest length. We're okay. You guys are so funny. They're not cheeky. My face cam is so zoomed in. There. This way we don't have to worry about the serging. We don't need serging right there. And then we will push it to one side, make it nice and flat. Put your back stitch kind of in the middle. That way these little threads don't end up at the end like this one is, you know? If you can. You can even start in the middle. I'll show you. It's nice when those little threads aren't kind of plaguing you, like poking out from your ends, you know what I mean? So start in the middle like this, and then go back, and then go back, and then end in the middle again. And then that way these little end threads are in the middle of your work. Something you have to think about, but it does help. Okay. Oops, I didn't get that quite in there. All right. Would you still be having this if you had sewn the lace flat before I had to? No, I wouldn't. I think that it's just this method is just not ideal. You know, like I just think that there's a nicer way to do it. Yeah. If I had matching thread, I think I would be more amenable to one of these methods. But the not having the matching thread really makes it stick out to me. All right, so we're just going to overlock this on. So I'm going to lose a little bit of my lace steps. I'm not going to trim any off. What am I trying now? I'm overlocking them on. And then we're going to top stitch them down. But maybe we're going to cover stitch them down. I think this will look more polished and professional. I think in my head, when I was thinking about this, I was thinking of something kind of looking like athletic wear, and it just doesn't have that vibe. I keep fiddling with this, like when I'm in the middle of the circle, but the best thing to do is to trust that you've already sorted out that you're holding it correctly, you know. Will I do another pair and show you the, I just cut the lace off and I'm doing, this right now I think is going to be my preferred way. I'm hoping. I'm having to trim a little of the legging right now, and it's just because I didn't cut it perfectly straight, I think. All right, so I have overlocked my lace to the right side of the garment, okay? And now the next step is cover stitching the seam pressed up towards the garment. If you have a zigzag, I would zigzag this. Like that. So that already looks so much nicer, doesn't it? Where am I going here? Right here, right? No, I want it inside out, right? Yeah. This kind of is me doing another pair just because I cut those off. I cut them off and now here we are. Okay, I gotta make sure this end is the top. Yep, okay. And then I'm staggering my inseams of the lace and the short. I still do think like leaving that flat and open would just be a little easier. Knits are pretty forgiving with that kind of thing. I'm kind of a stickler for sewing things in the round, you know, and I like setting in my sleeves and not, you know, doing it the other way. But for knits, I think that we've let go a lot of those kinds of nice finishing techniques because knits can be so fiddly. And it doesn't make them less. All right. Yeah, I feel like what I'm feeling right now is I'm actually a little like, huh, that's weird that didn't work the way I was picturing it. And I'm trying to think like, what was I actually picturing? And maybe I was picturing a different sewing method, you know? So part of my problem right now is this thread color, you know? Like, it's just not that great. I wonder if I have a better, do you think maybe the cream looks better? Does the cream look better? You guys probably can't even tell. You know, The cream might look better. Yeah, look at that. Can you guys see that? Here. I thought I was being all clever using this kind of blush pink. I'm trying to get one strand. Please just give me one strand. Okay. What do you think? Can you see that? No. I mean, on the inside, the white looks pretty good. I think the white is just better. Oh, I don't know. I feel like the white makes it look like I phoned it in. The cream, yeah. Hi, Tammy, you're back. Welcome. All right, so these are my needles. We're gonna change them all though. Oh boy, I almost cut that through the wrong spot. Let's see here. Cream. Change our thread here. Where is it? Oh my gosh. Oh, I was seeing a reflection of this thread in that metal post. What are the odds of that? Didn't think my eyesight was good enough for that. I'm excited to try these on. If you weren't watching, I'd probably have already tried them on. For at least 5 minutes. Well, I don't know if you saw, I cut the hems off and I'm trying a different sewing method. Yeah, I agree. We mostly wear knits. I mean, I wear a lot of wovens, but I think when you come to sewing, you don't realize how many knits you sew, and then when you go to learn to sew, almost everything is geared towards wovens. I need tweezers, and I'm not sure where I put them. I actually don't know where I put them. But my thread is, I can see it. Oh, there, I got it. Oh, wait. Yeah, I got it, okay. Is this the one with the threader? No, it's not. What was that? Ah, thanks for subscribing, Rebecca. Welcome in. I am making some undershorts for wearing under dresses. Ow, I just poked myself. Oh my God. Professional work here. Now I need something for the blood. And now I'm just experimenting with a couple of different hem finishes. This is my third one, but I'm feeling good about this one. And I think Libby, I'm actually going to cover stitch them. But oh my gosh, I am bleeding. I poked myself with the needle. Oh. No, they're not in there. They're in the serger though. That's true. I don't want to bleed on my shorts. I have to get a Band-Aid. And I have Band-Aids here just for this. I bought these clear Band-Aids a long time ago. Don't ever buy them. You can't get them off. They are, like, if you put them on your kiddo's like, I don't want anyone to see I have a boo-boo. I want a clear Band-Aid. And you put this thing on there, just prepare for the screaming when you go to take it off because it's bad. Talk them out of it. Go for the dinosaurs. They're like, I'm too big for dinosaur Band-Aids now. Tell them, Yeah, but we don't like pulling Band-Aids off, do we? All right. This is the out seam of the back. This is the inseam. This is the front and this is the back. All right. I would like a little piece of fabric, please. What does the pattern suggest for hymns? Oh, that's a good question. Oops, I forgot to do that when I... I'm sorry, I don't know that. I think you turn it up and hem it. Okay, so this is the back. I'm just trying to keep track of the back and the front because I want to make sure I'm starting my cover stitch on the back. I like to do that. So I'm just going to fold up the seam allowance right here and folding it towards the body of the garment. Let's do this. What is this? Oh, that's the tail. I am sewing, right? Yeah. Oh, this looks good. This looks really good. All right. I'm getting to a thickness here. This machine goes right over the thickness. I love it. I'm gently pulling a little bit just to make sure that it's going to be good and stretchy. Down, up, pull. Got my mantra. All right, you guys, this looks way nicer. Tell me that you don't agree, or tell me that you do. Look at that. Am I right or am I right? What do you guys think? Yeah, finish in the usual way. Use the reject hem to suck up the blood. All I had was these little tiny things. Right? Oh no, Hannah. Oh no. Did you get it out? Oh no. What? Wait, your yarn dyed. Wait. What are you talking about? Oh my gosh. Did anyone use the yarn, non-yarn dyed stuff as the same? Your yarn dyed. Oh my gosh. Okay. I just saw your linen question. Non-yarn dyed versus yarn dyed linen. What do you mean? Are they both Essex? I have not been disappointed by anything in the Essex family, unfortunately, because I keep buying it. I love having it. If I could have a bolt of each just on hand, life would be complete. All right. So imagine that I had done this flat. We serged this on flat, we cover stitched it on flat, and then we did the inseam. Think about how fast that would be and how nice and, okay. I got to baby you through that, okay. Think how nice and fast that would be, and you'd feel really confident doing it. It's all easy, you know, if you have the machines, this is a good setup. Or you zigzag it. I think zigzagging would be excellent. I like the way zigzags look. I am not someone that needs to have my stuff look store-bought in that realm. I like the way zigzag looks. I think it looks professional. All right. Yeah. We prevailed. Both are Essex. I think that's then, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Yarn dyed probably only means, Sydney, that the warp and the weft are two different colors. So it's like that one I just showed you guys the other day. This one here. I bet I have some of each and I don't even know it. Let me see. Yeah, like this one here. I think this is what you're talking about. So you see how this fabric here, I have two fabrics sitting here, but do you see how this has kind of a black and copper? So here's one of the threads, and then the other one going this way, if you can see, is black. I think this is what they're talking about when they say yarn dyed, because what happened is they dyed each of these yarns separately, then wove them together, whereas this was woven together and then dyed as one color. You know what I mean? What weight would I recommend for linen on bottoms like the, oh, weight. I'm kind of bad with my ounces. It's so funny because I was shopping for polar fleece for my husband for it's one of the menswear things we're sewing. And I know those ounces really well, but when it gets to garment, I get a little like, is that denim ounces? Fleece ounces? Polar fleece ounces? Like they're all different. Did that make sense, Sydney? So is that jive with whatever you're trying to buy? So, okay, what do you think? Why doesn't this match as well now? But it looks, on the camera, it looks pretty good. I'm happy. That's pretty good. Look at my little labels in there. But it is kind of like, yeah, what you guys said, an aggressive hike up there. Yeah, I have some undershorts. Okay. Those were really fast, I think. Essex and Brussels, I think brands. The Brussels washer linen is different company, and Essex is Robert Kaufman, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. The Brussels washer linen is drapier, and I think that would be a really good weight for the Winslows, the Brussels washer linen, because I think the Brussels washer might, yeah, have a rayon. Exactly. Yeah. No, it's a linen rayon, exactly. The Brussels washer linen and Essex say they're the same weight. They might be the same weight, but they have different drape. A shot yarn dyed, but that's more like, yeah, I think shot yarn, exactly. It's a little more variegated. You guys are really trying to try my knowledge here, and I don't have a whole lot. Like fabrics is a whole textile science thing. Have you ever had your cover stitch not be stretchy enough? Yes. I have. I dealt with it by buying a different machine. I hate to tell you that, but I couldn't get it. My old machine was really great, and then it just wasn't as good. No, Essex is linen cotton. Brussels is linen rayon. Pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. Hearts Fabric sells both, though. Yeah, Barbara said it right, Eliza. Brussels has rayon, Essex has cotton. They both have linen. They're all Robert Kaufman. Okay, I didn't know about that part. They're both fantastic fabrics, by the way. The Brussels washer linen is, you know that red Upton dress I wore the other day? That was the Brussels washer linen. And it's, I don't even have to iron it. And then there's viscose linen noil, which is another really good one. And that comes in a ton of colors, and Hearts has a lot of those as well. I know, Allison, exactly. Do you guys remember, I used to have a viewer that was really bugged by that. And I finally was like, I don't want to change on camera, okay? Yeah, the Brussels would be awesome for the culottes, Carrie. I agree with Sydney on that. I think the Essex would be okay, but it's a little bit boardier. You know? You could use this as a bottom weight, though, like for pants. Just not something that you would want drape on. The Hearts discount code. There you go. It is 10 so-so. You haven't figured out how to delete your comments yet? I don't either. You're fine, Lynn. Don't worry about it. Lynn, if you only saw me typing in chat, you'd feel so much better because there's both my keyboards are the keyboards that came with the computer, and I don't know what it is, but every time I press the key, not all of them register. And the space bar doesn't either, so then sometimes my word, it's so bad. And I know it, and I try and prevent it, and it still happens. Oh, you use the bristles for your, you had Tanya culottes too. I like those. I like those a lot. That's awesome, Sydney. Yeah, I agree. So the, remember the pants I made last year with the 100 Acts of Sewing pants #1 pattern, and I pieced together strips of the cat fabric. I made my own fabric from patches. Half of it was Essex, and I love those pants. I think if you got a lighter weight linen, like, because you know that poppy print that's really expensive, it's like $44 a yard, and it comes in like 4 different, and I always see it, Stone Mountain Daughter. I have a pair of pants out of that, I have pants #1 out of that, and then I have it in a little inset in my Pinnacle. That would be okay for culottes. That's a very lightweight. I want to say it was 4 or 6 ounces, but don't quote me on that. Does anyone know what the ounces is for Essex? Oh gosh, a Kalispell out of the Brussels. I'll bet that feels so good. Those big, huge pleats. Yeah. Oh, it is, Melinda? Oh. Yeah, wow, that coat was, nice job. Nice job. That turned out fantastic. All right, you guys, so this is the wide waistband. I'm kind of eager to see how I feel about that. The narrower, I want to say it was about, would be like here. I actually think narrower might be better, but we'll see. Essex is 5.6. All right, so I bet that poppy linen, it was 4 ounces. Yeah. Essex does soften up with washing and wearing. Yeah. Oh, that would be nice, Sydney. I think I'd like to make the Zadie. I don't like sometimes I see this weird gap on the bottom though. The yarn dyed is 4.5, Hannah. Oh. She posted it on Instagram, Eliza, and Melinda. Your account's public, right? I think her account's Quilting Telegraph or The Quilting Telegraph. Yeah, and some of them are stiffer than others. Like this one, let's see how these feel side by side. You know, these feel pretty similar. This feels lighter weight. This feels a little bit stiffer. This feels a little bit lighter weight. Okay, so let's talk about what I'm starting tomorrow. Oh, forgot my cart's back there. What's up with my face cam? It's like, I just feel like this floating head. So tomorrow I'm going to be starting with this somewhat sponsored stream. Sonia Phillip sent me her new book, and she sent me a bunch of really fun fabrics, and here are the silhouettes. You get these 4 patterns in the book. Yeah, ankle length. You know, the styles. Styles, what's the Madison cardigan? Style Sew Me. Oh my gosh. Madison cardigan I made. I think that was in the viscous linen noil. Nice. Okay, so you get these 4 patterns in this book. This little non-set-in sleeve, cap sleeve kind of top. A set-in sleeve, long sleeve, shirt, some pants, and a skirt. These are just elastic waists. I don't have the details on there. Her drawings are always very simple. And then there's all of these things you can do in there. So there's 5 different necklines, although one of them is the all-in-one facing. 3, 6, 8 sleeve finishes, 4 body changes, 3, 4, 5. Oh, thanks for subscribing, Sally. Welcome. 5 waist finishes, 4 hem finishes, and then some embellishments like gathers, pleats, tucks, ruching, and pockets, and then combining the patterns into like jumpsuits and dresses and things like that. And so I worked as a pattern drafter in the garment industry. I've seen my share of pattern drafting books, learned how to pattern draft in college with them. And I really like how simple this is. It doesn't bog you down with a lot of like the school trained pattern drafting stuff. And if you've already fit the garment and you're kind of got that, you can make all these embellishments. And you're going to have completely different garments from, just doing all of these different things that are in here. And it's like literally like a few paragraphs for each thing. So I'm going to do a lot of pattern drafting tomorrow. And if you already have like your block or your sloper, you could do all these things to your block or sloper. These are things you can apply to any patterns. So you get all these little like techniques, square necklines and V-necks and different ways to sew it. And it's a kind of infinite, right? We all know that all of the things you can do to garments is a kind of an infinite amount of things. And I don't have handy I don't have it handy. Would that be hard to add right now? I think it would be. Wait, let me see if I can find it really quick. I spent a lot of time having a lot of fun. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah. Playing around with the designs in this book. And so I took these 4 silhouettes and I used, this is the cat sleeve one, and I'm going to do a bunch of color blocking, and then I added this little like sleeve ruffle cap thingy here. I used the shirt pattern, and we're going to make this a sleeveless garment. It's going to have a button back placket, pin tucks on the front, and a hem ruffle. And all of that is in this book. The skirt I'm keeping kind of simple, and I had a request to do a kick pleat in the back. Maybe something suitable for a jean skirt, but I actually don't think that this would be suitable for a jean skirt unless you put a side zip in it. But you would also have to have the waist fitted to you, and this doesn't show, but this is a gathered waistline, much like these pants right here. The pants, I don't have that design completely finalized. I just wanted to break up the pants and do some kind of, maybe some color blocking. Maybe it's all the same color fabric, but we just have these like seams. There's some side seam pockets I'm gonna add, these back pockets, and then this really big vent on the side hem of the pant. And so these are what I'm gonna do. I am open to, other ideas and changes and things like that. But all of these things I got from this book, and I think it's going to be really fun. So that's what I'm planning on starting tomorrow. So I'm going to do a lot of the pattern drafting tomorrow and cutting out on Saturday. And next week, I think I'm going to be able to sew up all 4. We'll see. A kick pleat is when, the back of your skirt has that pleat, like say you have a pencil skirt. In order for it's not a kick pleat. I'm really sorry. That's not a kick pleat, that's a vent. It's a vent. A kick pleat's completely different. A kick pleat is usually a little section of the bottom of your skirt that is pleated. It's like an inset, and it's a bunch of pleats. You know it. If you've seen it, you know it. A vent in the back is differently for walking ease. Yeah, so you can walk upstairs so your legs will spread apart far enough to actually be able to walk upstairs, or be able to sit down. You need that vent. I'm doing a vent, not a kick pleat. I'm sorry. A kick pleat would be really cute though. They're really fun. it's kind of an old school type of thing, but a really cute little detail. I wonder if I could find one on the internet to show you. Let's see. Kick Pleat. I bet that's the name of a ska band. Oh, here's a few. Yeah, here's a few different. Mean Computer? Yeah, that's it. So look at, see this one has, let's see what the images pulls up. That's not kick cleats, that's pleats. This is a kind of, it's not really though. Let's see. This right here, these are both kick pleats. This is right here, not, kind of. That's just an inverted pleat. This could be, but I don't think so. This one keeps coming up, but that is definitely a kick pleat. You see how there's like multiple folds in there? That's kind of one of the things. But these are just really just inverted pleats and very much like school dress form, yeah, right there. That is definitely kick pleats right there. Whereas a vent is something you're going to see like in a jean skirt or a pencil skirt. Like that right there is a slit. I can't tell if you guys are talking to me right now. This could be a ska band. Totally. Let's show us the back. Show us the back. Right here. Like you can't walk up the stairs in this unless there's a vent in the back. That's a slit. That's a slit. There you go. Well, that's more like a slit, and these can be kind of dicey. You want a little fabric back there just in case that vent's going up a little bit high. You know? Let's see. Oh well, I didn't put in pencil skirt with a vent, so yeah, definitely, Lynn. They're just a nicer, cuter, embellished way to do it. Yeah, I know, Elena. I think that just comes from a lot of people working in the home sew world that weren't trained formally. That's okay. Sydney, it adds up quick. Yeah, we're all living vicariously through you. It depends on what you're kicking. Yeah, if you're trying to make it up the stadium stairs on your first date with that cute person that you went there with, and you don't want to have to walk sideways up the stairs because you can't bend your legs, you need a vent or a slit. And you're really kicking yourself, not any pleats, that you wore that. Because everyone in the stadium's watching you walk up. Long coats tend to have vents. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I think of vents as being something that kind of overlaps a little bit. But you will see me refer to side slits on a shirt as vents as well. Thanks for subscribing, Mary. Welcome. We're just kind of winding down. It's only 43 inches wide. That always kind of shocks me too, Sydney. Yeah, so anyway, so that's what we're going to start tomorrow. I think it's going to be fun pattern drafting stuff for anybody, even if you don't get the book. If you have your block and you want to like add some of these things, yeah, so it's just going to be good, kind of good tie into all our block sloper talk. Because this is exactly, if you had your block or your sloper, you could do all these things to that as well. So, right, Sydney? I know. So how many different ones is it? I want to know, Sydney. Is it like for a few different projects? See, I make up for, you know, having my like, you know, 2 pairs of shorts for under $25 budget with my steady budget to buy Essex yarn dyed linen. Yeah, exactly, Melinda. Yeah, and you could probably put in a slit, you know, and then maybe put some fabric behind, underneath one side. If you don't want like a slit to where someone's seeing something, but yeah, it can. We really underestimate how much room we need to walk. And I definitely learned that, like, I'm going to design my own skirt and go see my boyfriend. And then I was, you know, in high school doing that. And then I was like, okay, I have to stand all evening. So 2 pants, 2 shorts, 2 skirts. So 6 items. Well, where the heck's my calculator? I usually have a calculator pinned to my taskbar. I think that's a pretty good budget. I think that's pretty good. You know? That's like a 75, 75, 75. That's like, you know, 50, 60. Oh, no, not even. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's pretty good. That's like $40 a garment. Yeah, it's like $40 a garment or less. $35 a garment. You did good. And it's linen cotton, easy to care for. I don't think it shrinks that bad either, personally. Right, Sydney? I know. I know, it's because of our labor. I understand that, and the pattern. I totally get you. I've been buying fabric a lot lately. I go through phases of doing it. Thank you, Eliza. I was way off when I started at that 75 mark, which was double that. Cool. All right. Well, I hope you guys got something out of today. I'm sorry I don't have the paint for the rugs. As soon as I do, I'll probably do an impromptu stream. We'll do it because it won't take long. So I've already gotten a couple tips where people were like, use it sparingly. They turned out really good. I washed them and they are so floofy and like got channels. They look really soft and I haven't put them down in my bathroom. I'm saving it for the big reveal. I'm not going to show you them until they're done. But I will tell you that you guys were right in that the stitching and the torquing I was getting, the crinkling has covered that mostly up. And so I'm really glad I didn't spend the time correcting that. So, yes, you don't want your petite pants showing, your petty pants, exactly. You know what? Your new found, you know, undershorts. You bought so much fabric at Joann's yesterday. See, when I'm in a spending mood like that, Sydney, when I start buying a lot of things like that, what I learn about me is that that is my desire to be creative, and I'm not giving myself enough time to be creative, and so I will start buying stuff. And then I have to tell myself, you need to do something creative, otherwise you're just going to keep buying stuff. So, oh, that's cool. I might need to go by there. Bye, Ursula. Nice seeing you. Thanks for coming. All right, well, thank you guys for the donations today. I've gotten 2 new Patreon patrons. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That kind of support is so great because it pays for the projects that we're doing, and that is really helpful. So I will be here tomorrow, and we will be starting some pattern drafting. It's going to be really fun. I'm excited. I can't wait to, that pin tuck top, I might make for me in my own fabric because I want that. I want to replace it. So Yeah, you need a vacation to sew. I might take one in August before the blades are so long. Me too, Carrie. I do that same thing. And then I come back. So, and I'm like, oh, shoot, I still have stuff in my cart. That's spoon flour for me. I got to be careful. Thanks, you guys. Yeah, thank you. Oh, yeah, Debbie. I noticed that because my friend told me that. Because I would be like, you know, every time I go to Target, when I was a new mom and I had a little infant and I didn't have any time for myself, I'd be like, well, I can take her to Target. And I would buy stuff. And I'd be like, it's too expensive for me to go there. I don't need that stuff. I see it and then I think I need it and I walk home with it, get home with it. And then my friend said, you know, that's usually a sign for creative people that they need a creative outlet. And I use it now as a tool. So it works for me. I don't think it's for everybody, but it is for me. Nice, Lynn. Well, thanks. That's nice of you. A lot of people haven't been able to make it to hair appointments in so long. I'm surprised you would want to change it. Oh, that'll be fun, Eliza. Have fun. Be safe. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow, 11 a.m. And I'll see you Saturday for this. And next week, all 3 streams will be devoted to this too. Be lots of pattern drafting, lots of fun sewing steps, things I have never sewn. I'm going to be sewing, which is really cool. One-piece facing, square necklines, the pin tucks, vent, the side vent, some of the pocket styles. It's going to be good stuff. So, all right. I'll see you guys soon and have a really great night and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Wrong stream. Bye.